to Matt Cutter's Garage. We have a special guest, Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Ironically, Mike is the guy that I got the El Camino off of, but we're not going to be working on the El Camino together. Just Cortinas. Tune in. Hi, welcome to Matt Cutter's Garage. I'm Pete. This is Mike. Mike. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Thank you. You're just too kind. Okay. Let's get switching spots. We'll get right down to action. All right. So this is Mike.
I'm Mike. Nice to meet you guys.
We actually met via an offer-up ad where I acquired the El Camino. Mike, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, I lived at my mom for a while, but this dude has helped me with all of my mechanic stuff. If you need anything to know about mechanic stuff, watch this dude's videos. Trust and believe that one. He knows everything about it.
Hey, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot. Helps out.
Amen.
So, even though I got the El Camino from you, and ironically we're here to do an episode on Cortinas because one of our viewers, and in another clip I'll give you a shout out to you, wanted us to do something on the Cortinas.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to give you a little history on the Cortina. The story of the Cortina actually goes back, it's a British Ford, but the story actually goes back to like 1955-ish. Right before the Edsel came out, a guy named Roy Brown designed the Edsel. And when it became a failure, they kind of exiled him to Europe, where he worked on the Mark I Cortina, which was super famous for racing. And they even had a Lotus version with a twin cam Cosworth head. So Roy got redemption there and was a hero again. Then in 1966, they redesigned the Cortina, and a guy by the name of Roy B. Haynes, he designed the Mark II Cortina, which is what we're going to be working on today. Ours are far from stock. But Roy designed that car, and then in 67 left to be, I think I got that right, and BMC. And he worked on doing a facelift on the Mini, and then what most people know him for was the Morris Marina, which was a failure. But I still would like to have one. Just to dissect it and do our thing to it. But with all that being said, we got us a new battery. Our battery that powered everything. Rest in peace. Goodbye.
If you're ever going to get a battery, don't go cheap. Just do it right.
Or you can go cheap like I did.
But it's still not cheap. It's still doing it right.
I don't know if it's just Walmart or if it's other places, but apparently you can't get a side post, top post combination battery anymore. So, in the mix, I ended up getting some side post terminals for
So always make sure you get the right ones.
They're probably wrong. And I could have spent $10 for a cheapy fuel filter like I had on it, which is now junk. But I spent $20 on this name brand one that comes apart and you can clean it. All that being said, we'll get to work. We're going to have some libations because it's really hot out here.
Amen, brother.
And we'll bring you over to the Cortinas. Let's do it. So this is our 1968 Mark II Cortina that I acquired when my dad passed away. This has a 1971 or so 2-liter Pinto engine in it, and I just got done mocking up the 4-speed manual transmission. My dad had put it together with an automatic, and I'm trying to change all that. So we're going to kind of go through the modifications that I've had to do to do that. One of the things I had to do is acquire a flywheel, which I didn't realize was so hard to get. Then I actually monkey jerked that and serviced it myself in a manner that I would not recommend to anybody. And it'll probably fail, but hey, we're going to get it running.
We're going to do it.
So if you want to crawl underneath the other side, I'll hand the drive shaft to you, and we're going to check and see if this drive shaft length is going to work. We still have to change the end of it here, but we're going to see what we can accomplish. Got it kind of sitting in there.
Right there. Turn it. There you go. Right there.
Are you filming him?
Yeah.
So,
You guys ready?
right off the bat, I can tell this is not going to work. We have to put it in the other way, but here's no, it won't fit in there. The deal is the back of the transmission is almost all the way to this, so we're gonna have to cut this beautiful weld that somebody did, which probably took any of the balance out of this thing anyway. So with that being said, that's gonna go to a drive shaft shop, and we'll come back to that later. Oh, hi. Extreme neglect here. So, ironically, this is what happens to plastic bags that you leave out in the sun with nuts and bolts in them. And I'm going to put these back into plastic bags because there's no way we're going to leave these outside in the sun again, right? So we literally disassembled the small block out of the Sierra Camino, the 4-bolt main one right here, and I put all the bolts categorized into plastic bags, and I intended to put them somewhere safe, where I intend to put these again. This is my 69 Cortina. Lots and lots and lots of spiders. So that's part of the roll cage. If you peek inside, you can show them the hoop, the main hoop, the frame rails, quick release steering wheel, which I'm not going to touch because it's full of spiders. This one's a huge contrast from the other one. The other one is still usable. This one we have not made usable again. But you can see I pushed the firewall back a good 4, maybe, we said 4, I think it's more like 6 to 8 inches. It's got Mustang 2 rack and pinion. But yeah, small block Chevy swims in there. It's got plenty of room. I'll show you the contrast between that. Crazy the contrast between the two firewalls and how much I actually cut out of the car. But this is with a 2-liter Pinto engine. And what I was doing here is, as I said earlier, you can't get a battery with side post and top post anymore. I don't know. If you remember our last video, I was telling you about tools that are inexpensive, these are inexpensive. I think you know where you can get those. But had to cut that, unfortunately. But I have these. I'll bring them over here. I'm going to put these side post terminals on it. See? Cheap-ish. I'm not going to say they're cheap, because you don't have a whole lot of money, nothing's really cheap. They are less expensive than name brand, let's say that. Right. This is a pretty easy fix. If I don't cut my finger off, we'll be doing good. And be careful how far you cut into this, because especially with a razor, you can actually cut some of the copper out of it, which I probably have already done. So, an exposed end down there. Simple fix. Just make sure you get this thing tight. Completely SAE certified, OSHA approved, perfectly done, if I do say so myself. And that's how fast you can go from junky posts or top posts. I don't say these are junky. These particular ones are junky. But to a side post, which takes this little bolt right there, bolts right into the battery. I did that primarily so that this new battery I bought can be my new workhorse for all the vehicles that we're going to get running, and it'll fit everything. Pretty soon I'm going to fire this one up. Till next time, I'm going to actually, you know what, while we're here, let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Oh, came right out. This is a transmission cooler for an automatic transmission, which is ironically dumping automatic transmission fluid everywhere. We don't need this because we put a stick shift back in it as the way it should be. Always. Don't have one for that yet. But anyway, I'm going to get back to wrenching on this. I won't bore you with all the details. Till next time. We're back working on the 68 Cortina. I got the battery cable ends replaced. One thing that I hate about this car, this alternator configuration here with this bracket is it's the alternative bracket for when a Pinto or a Mustang 2 would have air conditioning, because the air conditioning would mount over here. So I guess my dad had intended on putting air conditioning in this car. This alternator with this bracket is right over top of the distributor, which means while it's running, if you want to adjust the distributor, if you want to adjust the distributor while it's running, well, I guess you could put your hand in here and good luck, but it's going to get moved. I'm going to either try and buy a bracket or build a bracket. I don't know yet. But this has got a big GM alternator in it. And I couldn't tell you if it works because I haven't drove it yet. It was when I found the car back here. My dad had parked it because it had blown up the transmission. Oh, and just in case you think that expensive tools are impervious to being damaged, well, let me just put this up here. This is how it should be shaped. This is how it's now shaped. That's from putting too much torque to it. You live and learn, right? Oh, buy expensive tools, they'll last forever. Yeah. Okay. This is not working. Because I cannot get enough turn on this wrench. It's freaking bolt loose. That never happens. Almost never. Humanity. I had intended on this going really fast. Just so you know. And belt off. I've had this alternator on and off this car probably about 5 to 10 times trying to get the distributor tuned to where it would actually run. And yes, you have to disconnect everything and remove the alternator to get to the distributor. Brilliant. Only in a Ford, right? Sorry, my bad. And there's the distributor. Ironically, not only do you have to do that to get to the distributor, but also to the fuel line, which actually feels like it needs to be replaced. It's not going to get replaced because I didn't buy that. So, I need a tiny, tiny, tiny wrench. I had one of those plastic filters on here so that we could see when it got plugged up. Because, you know, when we start working on one of these, we are just going to keep plugging on it till it runs, and then we're going to drive it every day, right? Or reality can kick in, and it actually sits out here for 6 months to a year, and our California gas destroys it. I hope I can get that plastic piece out of there. I may have to take this line completely out of here. Oh, nice. That was loose. See? Plastic stuck inside because the gas ate away the rest of it. Look at it just disintegrate. Prepared for everything. Not usually. Thank you. Alright, that brings us to this, which I now see probably is not going to fit. Great. Maybe replacing this line anyway. So I got this. It's a little more expensive, but you're supposed to be able to take it apart. Okay. Somebody in a high school auto shop is saying, dude, man, you know what I could make out of that? Like, for real. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. So I guess you just spray that out when you're getting clogged up. That never happened. It's perfectly fine. I wouldn't worry. I'm not worried. But I do not think this is going to work. Looky there. Wait. I wonder. Oh, look at that. Bi-directional. Awesome. No thinking involved. Which way is that fuel filter go on? It's bi-directional, buddy. This is going to leak. You know what I always say? I'll put it together and then I'll replace that hose later. I usually never do. Unless, of course, it's a catastrophic leak. And then I probably will watch it leak for a while. And then fix it. More of the same. Can I see a show of hands of how many people don't know how to change a fuel filter? Okay, class. Today we're going to change a fuel filter. Hey, look, a hose that I actually did replace. Sometimes I do it right. How's it going to come out in one piece? Oh, it's crowning. Nope. Metal prevails. Plastic dies. Note to self, never ever buy another plastic filter ever again. It's bad news. Yay! And there we have it. Attach that back to the fuel pump, and hopefully California Gas hasn't ruined that too, because that's actually brand new. I'm going to show them where this is going here. This is the fuel pump down here. That piece. I'm going to squeeze this on. In case anybody was wondering if it's hot out here. Yeah, it's hot out here. A little bit. Just a little bit. For those of you in the know, if we can get a shot down in here on this side, look at how old that Acel ignition box is. I'm going to have to look this up. See what year this classic came out. An Acel Laser 2. If anybody's ever heard of one of those, message me. I want to know about it. Alright, hopefully when I come back to this, the alternator will be on this side. We'll have exhaust on it, and I'll fire it up.